Hey, how's everybody doing today? I'm going to be leading our lunch and learn today. So yeah, I'm here to answer any questions that you guys might have about decisions or anything that I can help with that you're currently working on. So if anybody wants to speak up or if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand or drop your questions in the chat here. Hey, Muriel, you have a question?
I do. I have two unrelated questions, actually.
All right, sounds good.
The first one is about an active users report. So people that are currently logged onto the system, not just their user ID is active. I know how to find that. But like right at this minute, they're logged onto the system. We found one that's in the event viewer, but it seemed to record people who weren't logged on. And I'm wondering if that's because they were closing decisions with the X instead of logging off.
Yeah, that very well may be. Let me take a look on my end really quick. Just want to take a look at this report. So you said this was under event viewers, right?
Yes.
Or under
correct.
event viewer.
Mm-hmm.
Active users. Yeah, I think this that might be why. So they just closed their browser rather than logging out, you said?
Yes, that's correct.
So I'm not entirely sure, but what it sounds like to me is their session was still kept alive, and that could also potentially be related to Google keeping information or continuing to run after you close it. I think this is going to be probably your most reliable way, though, of seeing who is currently using the system.
Okay, so let's assume it's a session and this person closed it with the X, which is common, if not recommended user behavior. How long does it keep it out there before it ends your session?
I am not entirely sure about that. I could probably dig up some more information here.
Okay.
I'm wondering if this has something to do with Google keeping, or if they're using Chrome or Edge, keeping data persistent.
I see something in the chat that says we can put a listener on the browser to kill the session while the end user system is highly locked down. I doubt I would be able to do that.
Yeah, I think, yeah, let me take another look at this report. I just want to look at exactly where we are pulling this information from.
Okay. And then I had a second question when you're ready.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, it looks like this active users, yeah, it's an active users data source. So I'm not entirely sure where our code is pulling this from, but I could find out for you about this from our developers as well to figure out, where exactly is pulling that information from and what could, I guess, constitute users remaining active when they close their browser.
Okay.
So yeah, what was your second question?
The second question was about the delete all files and directories step. So as it defaults, it deletes everything in subdirectories as well, which 364 days of the year is fine because we have everything timed out such that it doesn't, one process doesn't affect the other. But we ran into a situation yesterday where it deleted a transmission file because we ran a process that cleared one directory and it cleared the subdirectories. So is that still the way that this step functions in version 8.9? And how do I stop it from emptying the subdirectories?
You might be able to, I would imagine that's probably how this works still. My guess is that it would be just a recursive function that's getting all of the child items in that folder. And so then it's getting child items from the subfolders as well, and then just deleting everything that it sees listed as a file. What you might be able to do to get around this, we could do something like list files in directory. And then, so are these subfolders constant that exist in this directory?
You mean like their name and their structure? Yes, they are constant.
Okay, so this folder tree is going to be a constant all the time.
Correct.
Okay, what you might be able to do, and so you do not want files in those in the subdirectories to be deleted, right? Just
Correct.
Only files that exist within that particular folder.
Yes.
At the root. Yeah, you might be able to use a list files and directory step. And do all of these files have an extension?
I'm not sure about that part.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we could just do a delete based on the name. Let me look into this really quickly.
So in the chat, someone's put in if the type is directory to skip it.
Yeah, exactly. And there might be a few different ways of getting the contents of these directories. We also have, if you needed something more specific, you could use a execute command step possibly to return, your types as well. I'm not entirely sure if the get all files returns the type or not. That's what I'm checking right now.
Okay.
For the list files and directory. Yeah, bear with me just one moment. Yeah, so it looks like the list files and directory will list all subfolders files as well. What you might be able to do here is, since you said the folder tree is a constant, here I can share my screen really quickly.
Okay.
As well, just to kind of show you what I'm thinking here. So, at 1 second. So what I'm thinking is we might be able to, I'll go back to the top. So for this, I said, hey, my directory name is, op decisions. We can maybe filter what files get deleted. by their subpath. So
Okay.
that way, anything that are in subfolders persist.
Okay, and how would I do
Let's
that?
see. Yeah, I'm thinking about that right now. So what we might be able to do. Yeah, sorry, bear with me just one moment. I just want to look at this, these file paths again.
I am on a Windows installation, not a container.
No, yeah, that's fine. It'll work either way.
Okay.
It'll operate the exact same way. I'm just this is just the environment that I had available right now.
Okay.
So we could do. Might be able to do something with regex here even.
So in my case, all of the files that I wanted to delete are in the base directory, and they all have a similar structure to their name. So the beginnings of the names are all the same. Can I use that instead of just the directory?
So you said the beginning of all of these files names are the same.
Yes.
So you could probably, yeah, you could probably just do a filter on name contains. So you could do like a rule collection filter here. and then make a rule saying like, this will loop through and then all of your items in the list that you give it. So it'll have, entity will be your iterating object. And so then you could do like contains or starts with even, you could do contains and then just, put your file name, whatever that file prefix name or whatever that is. And then this
Okay.
should get that out. So what I could do here is, just as an example, yeah, I gave it quite a few files, but it should continue soon. And so then it just found my one file here. And so what you could do then is, if I want to delete that file, just do, and I would imagine you guys are already using the delete file step, right?
Correct. Mhm.
So you could just do delete file, or even, if you have a collection of files here, you could just do like a for loop or for each. And does this just run on a scheduled job?
Yes.
And does this cleanup? Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's me deleting this file here is harmless. So I can just show, maybe I should have listed a smaller directory. But ideally what's going to happen is here is, I'm going to list all of my files in the directory, everything with that name. I'm going to collect here, make a new list, send that list to a for each step and just go through and delete each file. And this list files and directory here should give you the entire path. So the delete file should be able to find it.
Okay.
And so now if I'm gonna break this guy right here. And then so now if I debug, I mean, this one should be higher up. Yeah, so it does not exist in there anymore.
Right, I will.
And I can send this to you as well, as a reference if you'd like.
If you would, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you should be able to just plug in, your file name here and whatever directory you want to search.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I should be able to upload this to the chat here. Let me give this a better name. All right, cool. Are you able to see that element registration file in the chat?
Look, I do not see it there yet.
It may have been taking a bit to upload. What about now?
Nope, still nothing.
Okay, let's see then. Do you mind, see, I think I could email this to you.
I just sent my email over.
Great, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, I just sent that over to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure thing. It looks like Jeff asked a question here as well. Is there a way to post a message to Azure Service Bus queue to be processed at a later time? Knowledge gets coding. Message scheduled in queue time property of service bus message. So in this question, what you're wanting is just decisions to send this message to Azure Service Bus and also send this message scheduled in queue time property along with it. So that'll be processed at a time that's controlled by Azure Service Bus. Let me check. If I remember correctly, I think this one is on our GitHub. Yeah, I am not entirely sure about this one. This might be something that just doesn't exist yet for our Azure module. But something I can do here, I can check on this. If you're open to it, I can open up a ticket for you here and take it and then investigate this with our developers. Because this might just not be an available property here. But it's definitely something that could probably be added. Yeah, here, I will make a note to myself. To open up a ticket for you here. And yeah, also what I think that's Vitali said. Yeah, it should be pretty straightforward. Making steps with our SDK is pretty easy, and on our documentation site, we have a pretty good layout of just how to set up a general flow step. And Jeff, what company do you work for again? Just so I can associate this ticket there and send it out to you. New Ocean Health, that's right. Yeah, I will. As soon as this meeting's over, I'll get that ticket set up, and then I can ask our developers about it with association with that ticket. Yeah, just because I don't think this is something that we currently offer, but it's probably something that we should offer. Yeah, so I have two takeaways from this. The session active users, how exactly that works, like where we're collecting that data source from for Muriel. And then for Jeff, I'm going to open up that ticket for you. Were there any other questions that anybody had today? Redshift ODBC. Yeah, sure. Let me just take a quick look at our documentation. It's been a while since I've done this one. But I believe, I remember correctly, we add a ODBC driver to the server where decisions is hosted. Let's see. Yeah, so if you, do we host you, or do you guys host decisions yourselves? Okay, cool. So yeah, it looks like, here, I'll just share this documentation as a link in here as well. Just for reference, here I can share my screen too. So yeah, it looks like we would just do this like any other ODBC connections. I don't know if you've had the chance to go this far yet with installing the ODBC driver. Okay, cool. So you were able to connect with decisions or connect decisions to Redshift ODBC or with an ODBC driver. Were there other issues with performing basic functionality? Okay, so I do not have Redshift installed, but I could probably, or the AWS module, believe it's on that, right? So we can just do a general, so it's this portion right here, right? With you're going to the database integration settings, and then you're setting up an ODBC connection, and you're looking for, are you looking for like the, I guess, other options on your connection string for Redshift? Or is it problems using them in a flow? Got you. Okay, so like define queries and stuff, there is, you're having issues with define queries and other functionality like stored procedures and stuff. Interesting. Do you by chance have that that error message available? Unfortunately, I don't have a Redshift database at the moment that I can do a setup on. Yeah, if you're able to regenerate this error, it should fit in the Zoom chat, but if not, my email is this that I'm dropping in the chat, and feel free to send it over to me. I'm happy to take a look. This one might it might require a support ticket, and we can definitely help you out with this. Yeah, so yeah, Chris, as soon as you send that email over to me, I can ensure that we can help you out here. Yeah, seeing that error message is always helpful there as well. So yeah, as soon as I get that, I'll get the ball rolling for you. Did anybody else have any questions before we leave off for today? All right. Yeah, if you guys think of any other questions at any time, feel free to join more of our lunch and learns, or submit a support ticket. You can do that by emailing support@decisions.com. And for those of you that I said that I would follow up with, I will follow up shortly after this meeting as well. All right, thank you, everybody.